Hello Stampers, welcome to Make a Card Monday. Today we're going to be making a card very similar to this one, but we're going to be using some different designer series paper on the background. This particular pattern, which I just love, is from the special that was going on last month, where you got a pack of the designer series paper when your order hit a certain amount. So that's what this design is from, in case you're curious. But today we're going to be using some paper from the Under the Mistletoe designer series paper pack from the annual catalog. So are you ready? Let's get started. So the stamp set that we're going to be using for this is the Takeout Treats stamp set. And this is the stamp set that coordinates with the Takeout Thinlit dies to make the fun boxes. And later this week I'm going to do a Facebook Live showing you some of the other designs that I came up with. A couple weeks ago I did a Frankenstein box, and I did 2 more Halloween ones and 3 Christmas ones that I want to share with you later this week. So come back for my Facebook Live on Thursday. But the stamp set we're using is the Takeout Treats. It is in the holiday catalog, same page, like I said, as the Thinlits. And so the stamp set is really designed to go with it, to use as tags and stuff like that. But I wanted to show you that there's other ways that you can use it to make cards. All right, so we're going to start off. You're going to need a piece of real red cardstock that measures 8.5 by 5.5. We're just going to take it and we're going to fold it in half to make our card base. Be sure and use a bone folder, okay, to make your fold nice and crisp, okay? Then we're going to need a piece of designer series paper that measures 5.25 by 4. And again, I am using the designer series paper from the Under the Mistletoe pack, and I love the designs in this. They're just really, well, they can be holiday. They don't necessarily have to be holiday. It looks like it's one side of them is holiday geared toward, and the other side isn't, can be used year round. So it's really just a fun packet of paper. So again, the piece we're going to use is 5.25 by 4. We're just going to use our SNAIL adhesive on all 4 of the edges, and we're going to adhere that down to our card front. Okay, for the strip across the middle, I am using Garden Green, and you're going to, let's measure it real fast. It's going to measure 4 inches by 1 inch. Okay, and before we adhere that down to our card, we want to add some of the mini sequin trim. This is the gold sequin trim. And what I'm going to do is I want to measure out so that it goes about a 1/2 inch past both ends of my cardstock. Okay, and I'm just going to cut my trim off there. And for holding this down, I again use our tear and tape, which is fabulous for holding the sequin trim, and it's also really good for holding ribbon. If you've ever used SNAIL to attach your ribbon to a card, chances are a few days later it popped off because the SNAIL just is not strong enough to hold the ribbon down. But the tear and tape does a fabulous job. So all I'm going to do, since I cut it a little longer on both sides, is I'm going to take it down one end and I'm just going to wrap it around the end so that it adheres to the tear and tape. Going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Just take it, wrap it around the end, and adhere it to the tear and tape. Okay. Now the sequin trim is just makes it stick up a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals to just let it pop up that much all the way. I don't want it popping up off the ends of the card. So if I use my dimensionals and put a couple on each end, then it's going to go ahead and let it rise above the card all the way, so it's the same height off of our card base. So I'm just going to take the ends off of the dimensionals, bring my card back, and I'm just going to adhere it down on my card, just like that. Okay, so now we're going to pull out our stamp set, and I want to use this label piece right here. Okay, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to ink it up, white paper, Oh, hang on, I gotta grab some white cardstock here. My white cardstock that I got. Okay, so now I've got my white cardstock, and I'm just going to ink this up in the real red. And I'm going to stamp it right down here. Okay. Now in the framelits, like I said, there is a framelit that coordinates with all of the stamps. So we're just going to use this one right here, okay, that is going to coordinate and cut that out. And I already have one cut out right here, okay. Now what I'm going to do, there's another stamp in the set that says some Christmas cheer for you. So I'm going to take it with my Memento Black stamp pad. I'm going to ink it up real good, and I am just going to stamp that right in the middle of my tag. Just like that, okay? So now we're ready to adhere it to the card, and again I want it to pop a little bit, and so I'm going to put a dimensional on the top and also on the bottom. And the reason I am doing it that way instead of side to side is because when I'm trying to adhere it down to the sequin trim, I want it to pop over the top. If you lay the dimensional and have it stick right to your sequin trim, it won't lay flat. It kind of wobbles back and forth. So I put a dimensional on the top and on the bottom. Take our backing off, and now we're just going to center it on there just like that. And there we go. There is a super easy, simple card using the Takeout Treats stamp set. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends so that I know you've enjoyed it, and I will keep making more. And don't forget to check back here on Thursday for my Facebook Live, and I'll show you some of the other holiday takeout treat boxes that I made. Thanks for stopping by.